Mikrofon podcast ini ditaja oleh Music Bliss Sdn Bhd. Model DT770 Pro ini sangat selesa untuk digunakan dalam tempoh masa yang lama. Menghasilkan bunyi yang profesional, dapat membezakan di antara bunyi persekitaran dan bunyi yang dihasilkan. Gunakan promo kod yang tertera untuk sebarang pembelian barangan bea dinamik di website musicbliss.com. RM50 off untuk 100 pelanggan terawal. Terima kasih Music Bliss Sdn Bhd. Produk larutan atau dikenali sebagai cecair analyte, bahan antiseptik yang mampu membasmi kuman tanpa alkohol. Mesra alam dan tidak bertoksik, selamat digunakan oleh kanak-kanak dan haiwan peliharaan. Gunakan promo kod Safelyte LC10 untuk diskaun 10% untuk setiap pembelian di website safelyte.my.
Assalamualaikum and good evening everybody. Okay, with me today I have Lina, the known Lina, producer. We have Prakash, director, producer, and we have Haji Burhan, of course, the well-known producer of nak sebut tu payah sikit, LEPAK.
boleh.
Betul. Okay. Saya kadang-kadang tersasul. Anyway, we got an interesting topic hari ini. Let's talk about Wajah Filem Malaysia. I think that seemed to be something that orang tak boleh position, even the young ones. When I talk on Clubhouse, people seem to take it very lightly. So I think it's about time we talk it a bit serious lah. So what we'll do is kita move around dulu. The definition of how do you see a Malaysian film, Wajah Filem Malaysia lah. Okay, we start with Lina, boleh? Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I think for me, when I started making my first, I got into film because I was supporting the indie movement in 2000, masa tu 2004 masa tu, and like James Lee, Yu Hang, diorang semua buat cerita sendiri lah, because at that time digital just started, and firstly there was also no Chinese language film, so I just gave them a bit of money for them to do, and then it went to Cannes, it went to all these international festivals, which it shows that they have that kind of freedom to do their own career themselves, you know. So macam after that, then I did my first kind of mainstream film, Goleng Gincu, which is I kata newbie lah masa tu, tak tahu apa. When I made it, I made it because for me itulah wajah yang saya tahu, itulah dunia yang saya tahu. Goleng Gincu was about girls playing futsal, and I've been working in 3R. I started 3R for many years, and to me that's my world. I tahu very KL, and then what I wanted to do was to make a world where, okay, semua orang dari berbilang kaum, berbilang, you know, it will come together, and what's more, sports. So to me that's my wajah. Wajah that reflect that what I know as a producer, as a filmmaker. Kalau I you know, and I went on to do a few more films, Song Lap and a few others, Pisau Cukur. Bagi saya, a lot of people say my films are urban. Tapi bagi saya, I rasa I tinggal kat KL, walaupun I dari Melaka, I tinggal kat KL, but that's what I see. So maybe that's my wajah. My friends are mixed races, of all races. I tak kira ada banyak friends of all races, and to me, that's the reflection lah of wajah.
Okay, Prakash, let's hear. I mean, you did your film, which is very nice. So, what are your thoughts?
When you speak about Wajah Filem Malaysia, for me, it's kepelbagaian, variety. That's what comes into my mind. Because I grew up in Melaka as well. Fantastic place, I have to say. You know, just growing up, I grew up with having Chinese friends, basically living in a Chinese taman, and then we had a Malay taman just right behind my house, and then a Portuguese settlement. You know, so it was rojak lah. You know, rojak. So I grew up there.
Bandar Hilir.
Bandar Hilir, yeah, that's right.
Same kampung.
Same kampung. So, you know, growing up there, that gave me an experience about what Malaysia is. It taught me what Malaysia is actually. And then bila bapak saya pun dulu polis, police, so you'll have all these events that happens, you know. So kita pun ikut lah, you know. Growing up in that condition, right, I learned a lot about being Malaysian. That's what first. Kalau kita pergi kat luar, even just say overseas, what are you? Are you Indian, Malay, China? I just say Malaysian. That's what comes into my mind.
Yeah.
You know, that's what motivated me to buat filem suatu ketika pun. Because back then it was different to what it is right now. Now has changed a lot. You know, and I learned a lot the elderly people. Yeah.
Haji, you the champion. Upin Ipin has gone all over the world. So let's hear, what are your thoughts?
Ya, dan saya kalau kita nak mengetengahkan filem dari Malaysia ni, of course tonggak dia mesti dalam bahasa Melayu. Lepas tu kita menunjukkan kepelbagaian penduduk kita. Boleh kita campur dengan Cina, India. Kalau dia nak bawa bahasa Cina, bahasa India, tak ada masalah. Tapi mesti kena dengan konteksnya. Tetapi sebagai rakyat Malaysia, orang di luar tengok bila filem Malaysia mesti dalam bahasa Melayu. Main dia. Dalam tu dia nak campur tunjuk Iban ke apa, it doesn't matter. Tapi saya bermasalah bila sebuah filem tu menang di festival apa tu International Malaysian Festival, dibawa ke luar negara. Ini filem Malaysia tapi semua bahasa Cina, orang kata ni filem Hong Kong ke filem Malaysia. Itu jadi masalah dengan saya. Kita sebagai rakyat Malaysia, kita mesti membanggakan negara kita. Teras dia mesti dalam bahasa Malaysia. Teras. Bukannya semua tu dah mesti cerita Melayu. Cerita dia kalau kita nak ketengahkan, mesti menunjukkan budaya kita. Yang kita sebagai orang Malaysia harus berbangga. Itu yang saya buat dalam Upin Ipin. Masa mula dulu orang tak percaya yang kita boleh jual cerita yang macam itu ke seluruh dunia. Tetapi dari dulu lagi dah saya cakap, kita tak boleh copy orang punya. Kita mesti jual sesuatu yang original, baru you boleh pergi ke luar negara. Dan mesti mendapat sambutan yang kuat di negara kita, baru you boleh pergi ke luar negara kata, you buy my product. Nombor satu ditanya, how is doing in your country? Kalau dekat negeri sendiri pun tak laku, macam mana you nak cakap you punya what? Lepas tu bila you ketengahkan cerita you sendiri, cerita kita kan banyak. Pasal kita kepelbagaian. Upin Ipin boleh hidup dengan apa tu Angka Mutu dengan Atong semua kan. Ini semua cerita yang kita bawa kan supaya orang tahu inilah wajah Malaysia. Ini masalahnya producer muda, pengarah muda yang kita ada sekarang, bila dia orang buat apa tu Superman, semua nak tiru Superman. Action film semua nak tiru orang putih punya. Tapi dia cakap inspired. Bila kita tengok memang scene dia betul-betul kopi. Tapi tak menjadilah pasal dia orang mahal, bajet besar. Kita pakai 2 kamera, dia orang pakai 12 kamera, mana nak sama? Jadi kalau kita tak kuat dalam segi teknikal tu, kita kuatkan dari segi konten. Ni konten pun tak kuat, teknikal pun tak kuat, macam mana kita nak jual? Itu masalah dia.
Betul. Saya sokong apa yang Haji cakap. We have not been true to our essence. Okay, Haji petik pasal festival tu interesting. I got a bit of, let's touch a bit on the festival in Malaysia first. Okay, we've got FFM, which is the flagship festival, right? Of course, Anugerah Screen is Anugerah Screen lah. The feature is a given, right? Cuma kalau festival film Malaysia dilahirkan awal-awal dulu, predominantly adalah filem berbahasa Malaysia, right? Which is Malay language. I don't think there was any production for Tamil or even Chinese language, and therefore, because the volume tak besar, not accepted in FFM. But because of that too, as time progresses, kita tahu Persatuan Film Makers Chinese ada dia punya festival, so is Tamil ada festival, and then FFM also start to buka kategori that other language masuk. I guess my question would be is, what are your thoughts for that? Satu lagi, when is the Tamil and Chinese festival? Ini was an issue. I'm just bringing up the issue.
One point, yeah.
At one point, they are not inviting the Malays to come into this festival because it's very Chinese festival, very Tamil festival. Tapi bila FFM buka, then there are voices yang kata, kenapa kita kena terima filem Cina? But itu flagship, therefore kita kena buka. But sedangkan the pocket, right, tak terima filem bahasa Malaysia, right? So those are the kind of things that cause friction. Ada yang kata support, ada kata tak support. I want to know your thoughts. I'm not even touching yet the mid-fest. That one we talk second round.
I mean for me, FFM, yes, it's a legacy kan. Dia ditubuhkan because untuk to galakkan film Malaysia. Dan film Malaysia masa only in bahasa Malaysia. Tapi of course things changes. Kalau kita lihat dari segi what is FFM. Okay, first I ask what is Hala 7 FFM? Kalau Hala 7 FFM is to credit for the best film, meaning you win on your merit. You tak menang because you bahasa Malaysia, you bahasa Cina, tak ada. You must win on credit. Like macam I talk about Academy Awards. Why is Academy Awards? The best film can be a Korean film. That's crazy. It's not an American film, but it's Korean film. So bagi kita, I think to me it's not a case of course kita kena ikut masa, right? Dulu mana ada bahasa Malaysia, Malaysian Indian film or Malaysian Chinese film? Tak ada. Like say 2004, the revolution kind of started in some ways where filmmakers kata they maybe now can make, because of digital, it's cheaper to make films. So people start berkarya. And bila orang nak berkarya, firstly, I feel that berkarya tu, we cannot say that, okay, you must only berkarya macam tu. Like if I'm a writer, director, best I write about what I know. Kalau I like for instance, I watch Rempit. Only a person who can make the film like that macam tu because they know, they understand that world. Dia macam they make Yu Hang make a Chinese film about a Chinese thing. Jagat, Sanjay make about the Indian community. I don't think I can make a film macam Jagat. I don't think I can even make a film about the you mean the world to me. I mean in that sense I understand that world. Tapi the filmmaker needs to make films, I rasa, that they understand. They understand that world. Kalau dia nak make a film about kampung kat Terengganu, and I've never lived in Terengganu, I tak tahu even kecik Kelantan, susah I nak sebagai filmmaker I nak buat tu. So I think for me, for films, my interpretation firstly, films should be about the stories. I tak kisah, I boleh tengok any language film, Hindustan dan Melayu. I grow up on all these things. Kita kat Melaka grow up tengok cerita Melayu, cerita Hindustan. So for me, kalau kita tengok best film, it has to be a film yang bagus. And apakah film yang bagus? And then I go back to FFM. Macam mana kita judge? How are we judging best film? So, dari segi merit ke? Dari segi like, okay, this must have elemen-elemen muhibah. Okay, bagus kalau elemen muhibah. Tapi if that's Hala 7 FFM untuk promote muhibah dan promote bahasa Malaysia, terus we must say, okay, FFM very clear. We promote films dalam bahasa Malaysia kerana ini adalah bahasa kebangsaan kita. Jadi hanya films dalam bahasa kebangsaan sahaja boleh qualify sebagai best film. Tapi mungkin kerana now the thing has, ada film India, we have to acknowledge it. Mungkin you ada kategori bahasa lain or something like that. Or tapi not necessary bahasa Malaysia, films dalam bahasa Malaysia is better than the films dari bahasa India. I mean that year Jagat, came out and ada kontroversi sikit kan, Jagat.
That was the year.
That was the year. And then everybody macam, tapi I've seen Chinese Jagat, it's a great film to me. I really liked it. It's like, it's strong. And I understand the film. So how do you say Jagat is better than another, kalau I can't remember that year, what was the film?
I think one of the Datuk Yusof punya son punya film. I think so. I cannot remember.
I still can't remember. Like, but because Jagat internationally pun won because it's a very personal film. So again, kita tak, macam mana kita menilai film, itu bagi saya satu isu yang sangat-sangat penting. And then that has to be jawab by FFM dulu. And understand apakah tujuan FFM yang sebenar. Bagi saya, every year it changes, and that's why for me I paling kritik dengan FFM. Dari dulu I rasa macam FFM ni kadang-kadang macam ni, kadang-kadang macam like, you nak bagi award untuk box office, bagi saya lah, buat apa? Box office dah box office, itu lain halnya. Itu bagus. Okay, you nak bagi award, bagilah. Tapi yang pentingnya, kita kena award orang yang berkarya. Kita kena award the excellence of filmmaking. And to me lah, tapi mungkin ada orang interpret lain, which is okay. Kalau kerajaan nak, is the one, kalau Finas yang fund FFM, let them, dia money kan, dia orang nak kata okay, kerajaan nak kita promosikan bahasa Malaysia, dan okay, then kita, we know, we understand, so kita tak ada like kenapa itu film Cina jadi tu. And Chinese films, and to answer, Chinese and Indian have their own their own awards. Because end of the day, diorang memang minority. Kalau hari besok Sarawak nak kata awards untuk only bahasa Iban, I'm no problem, because memang itu minority, like very few, and for them is to promote bahasa Iban to maybe majority. Majority kita bahasa Malaysia. That's why I pun buat film bahasa Malaysia. I tak buat Cina kurang. I mean, it's in that sense.
In the same boat as you.
That's my thoughts. And
Prakash?
Just off topic sikit lah. Okay, I think nak touch about what Tuan Haji said about bahasa Malaysia. Okay, the masalah sekarang ni, a lot of youngsters cannot converse in bahasa Melayu. That's first. So they are feeling left out. Diorang dah rasa terpinggir. Kan? So itu satu masalah yang besar. We have to look at the grassroots. Kita kena start dari sana. Sebab diorang tak kenal bahasa. Diorang tak kenal budaya. Kalau tak kenal budaya, macam mana diorang nak bikin filem bahasa Melayu atau bahasa Malaysia? Itu satu masalah yang besar. Were you in IJC? Yeah. So I was in
SFI.
Melaka High School. So Melaka High School. Yeah. So within our community, dalam community kita, there's a big issue going on. Language, ada language barrier. Language barrier. So diorang tak boleh relate benda ni. Tak relevan untuk diorang, untuk mereka bikin filem-filem tu. And second is kalau kita tengok filem festival film, Tamil Film Festival or Chinese Film Festival, whatever name it comes with, I rasa diorang tak pernah fikir untuk invite, because for them is diorang akan join ke kalau kita buka. That's the first thing in them.
That's all lah.
I think so. I think they also don't want to feel left out. They don't want to feel left out, because for them perception is like what you say, FFM, how far can I bring my Tamil movie or Chinese movie into FFM? Kita akan menang atau kita akan kalah. Most of the time kita akan kalah lah, right? So that's why mungkin diorang create all this festival kat tepi ni, kan?
That's okay to their audience.
To cater to their audience
in that
lah.
sense.
So I started with the Indonesian industry. That's where I started my career, and then slowly moved to Malay. So it was an opportunity for me to learn. At the same time, I grew up learning Malay. I have a lot of Malay friends, so it was relevant to me. Bila I buat filem Melayu, it's so relevant to me. So festival yang lain tu, I think okay lah, biarkan. I think okay lah. Sebab if you go to US or worldwide, kan, they have so many types of categorize,
Latin,
Latin California ada satu, lepas tu Latin kat New York ada satu.
New York Asian film,
Haji?
Saya tak ada masalah kalau nak ada different film festival, Chinese ke Malay, it doesn't matter to me. Tapi yang saya bermasalah ni festival filem Malaysia. It's governed by the government, oleh authority, Finas. Dia yang tahu duit. So those up there, they must know how to alleviate this FFM menjadi suatu festival filem yang berprestige. Kalau dia bercakap memanglah prestige. Tetapi bila dia organize, ada satu ketika tu yang menari bawah tu James Bond. Kawan-kawan saya daripada Indonesia datang tanya, "Pak, ini Malaysia punya kan?" Kata. Saya nak cakap apa? Kalau yang penganjur dia tu daripada Finas pun tak tahu apa budaya Malaysia.
Betul.
Bagaimana kita nak cakap? Betul. Sekarang saya minta lah yang mengetuai Finas tu, KP Finas ke, siapa cerdik pandai di Finas, set the guideline. Festival filem Malaysia ni adalah hak negara. Dia mesti mengetengahkan filem negara. So kalau filem negara yang kita kalau menang dihantar ke mana-mana mewakili negara, tahu guideline, at least 70% mesti dalam bahasa Malaysia. Tapi kita boleh buat karya untuk yang lain tu, yang free for all. Siapa yang nak berkarya boleh pergi ke situ, dalam festival filem sendiri. Tetapi yang paling besar sekali mesti 70 or 80% dalam bahasa Malaysia. Dan dia mesti memaparkan kebudayaan kita. Tahu kita boleh angkat filem ni keluar negara. Sekarang tak ada insentif itu. Ini tergantung kepada juri. Kita pun tak faham siapa juri dia. Bila yang menang pelakon terkenal, pengarah filem ni dia, satu filem tu menang sampai 10. Tapi filem terbaik
Tak menang.
tak siapa punya filem ni. So it looks stupid. Kita tak nak lah festival filem kita ni look stupid. Satu, penganjur dia buat pertunjukan bukan budaya kita. Itu satu, kena jaga. Nombor dua, ini panel yang memilih itu juri-juri itu kena rasional. Kalau filem tu 3 dia menang kategori, dia ada kemungkinan jadi best filem.
Ya.
Betul.
Ini filem yang tak pernah satu pun tak menang, tiba-tiba dia jadi best filem.
Betul.
Tak semua orang mengumpat. Itu nampak sangat kebodohan juri itu.
Tapi apa kriteria?
That's the thing. Saya pernah bercakap. I think we spoke about this.
A lot.
Kalau kita buka kategori, macam Haji cakap betul, 70% is where you get the best film, which is Malaysian language film. That should be the compulsory, right? Yes, kita FFM boleh buka to other categories. Because to me, pelakon ke, editor ke, DOP, those are technicals.
Dia boleh bertanding.
Dia boleh bertanding.
No, I think the issue is bukan yang I think anybody can win. Tak kira, itu it's not a race issue. Tapi yang issue tu sekarang ni, what is a best film?
Yes.
I think this is the question. Apakah best criteria untuk best film? Adakah kriteria best film tu film yang bagus dari segi karya, dari segi technical, dari segi apa? And then the other thing is also because kalau budaya, kalau kita lihat budaya, kalau kita buat Malaysian Top Gun, is it budaya kita? I mean, that's the thing. What is budaya kita? So to me, I don't have no problem kalau dia orang buat like hantu films. Let's put like okay, kita suka, Malaysian suka cerita hantu kan. So if kalau we make cerita hantu, tapi alang-alang The Omen, tengok pun ni ada elemen macam The Omen, cerita scene pun macam sama macam Omen, tapi it still dapat box office, it still dapat menang award. So end of the day, it's not about the originality kan. It's not.
I agree.
So,
it's like we have spoken about this. Even when we launched the lab, the criteria is filem yang berbudaya Malaysia tapi boleh diterima di peringkat antarabangsa. Like what Upin Ipin successfully done. That means you look at stories that reflect, doesn't matter which community, that reflect.
Correct.
But is sellable that international would like to have a look at it. That should be the kind of criteria that we look at.
But sometimes some of the films that is sellable overseas, it's not necessarily the kind of films that Malaysia as a government like.
Exactly.
Okay, they would like. I mean, kita tengok Parasite. Let's just take Parasite. It's a critique on actually the government.
Yes.
And that guy, he's always doing films that critiques the South Korean government.
But
tapi
okay, I'm going to jump this. But I take your point. The problem is, like I have said to the minister, we are very fragmented. Okay, bila kita cakap dengan budak-budak muda di clubhouse yang Brown organise, apa itu filem Malaysia? Oh, kalau kita buat kat Malaysia, filem Malaysia lah, tak kira language apa. The mentality is so small that you tak nampak. Kalau kita, okay, Korean film, Korean language. Indonesian film, Indonesian language. Thai film, Thai language. It's only one language, including Philippines. Right? So, like Haji said, is correct. Bila kita keluar, Malaysian, Chinese, Malaysian, Indian, so people cannot judge who we are.
Correct.
Fragmented wise. Then I go back even further. Ini adalah political because kita ada sekolah kebangsaan masih.
Correct.
Kita ada ini. Jadi it's a race, sorry to touch this, but it's a race politics that have made the culture such.
It is a reflection of kita punya society. And our films are a reflection of our society. Bagi saya lah, kalau tengok tiap-tiap negara, film mereka, it is a reflection of society.
Yes, but
to me it doesn't matter. To me it doesn't matter. You want to reflect or what. But dalam Festival Filem Malaysia, bila kita memilih filem terbaik yang akan mewakili negara ke mana-mana pun, mestilah dalam bahasa Malaysia. Itu je. You nak buat cerita pasal, it's not necessary kebudayaan. Kalau macam cerita dia nak buat macam Top Gun, can go. Go.
Go.
Tapi bila kita pergi bertanding sana, ini filem Malaysia, dia mesti dalam bahasa Malaysia.
Even Academy punya category is actually the spoken language of the country, which is official language. That's why Singapore once have sent a Malay film because it's an official language to Singapore. Dia bahasa Malaysia.
Still, yeah, official, yeah.
Yeah, so kita
That's the foreign language category.
yes, the foreign language.
Language.
Open category tak kisah. So this year, with I think Finas punya decision, is to have FFM synchronized dengan Oscar. So tak ada lagi separate juri, Haji. Maknanya whoever the jury panel will decide on the best film, and that film automatically represent us. Therefore, the category must be at least, like Haji said, 70% bahasa Malaysia.
Bahasa Malaysia, yeah.
Right? Because it is the requirement.
For that award.
Yes.
Yes.
Therefore, if we want, if like you said lah, if Finas wants to be firm, then you have to say out loud, this year, whoever win best film is this, dan dia akan kena ada kebudayaan dan 70%. You spell it out. Janganlah takut.
Yeah.
Because at the moment Finas ni, sorry to say, kadang-kadang takut.
Yeah.
You cannot voice your opinion because takut orang bantai.
Dan lepas tu tukar. Macam
tukar.
mana? Tukar mengarut
Yeah.
So we also said, because CEO the last I think we discussed this, nak buat international sikit lah, because now we got to fight the Mid-Fest. Dia claim dia international, dia panggil. Kita pun tak tahu siapa and all that, but because it's like Malaysia International Film Festival, therefore Finas pun nak international kan FFM. So the decision that we make is one category cukup lah, best Southeast Asia film. So Malaysian film yang bagus compete lah dekat situ, right? It doesn't matter kan, just one category, because to do world open memang kita tak ada capability, we do not have the contact to pull people, dan censorship pun tak boleh.
So, but are you saying that so basically like moving forward, let's say Sanjay does Sajat another Tamil film, Jagat, you know, and then it will never qualify for best film?
If we follow FFM punya ruling as to be the film representing Malaysia in the foreign
Oscar,
category, then tak ada lah.
Then cannot lah.
Then
But
cannot lah.
it can
So
still
that's-
win in FFM. Is that
It can win
ada
other category. Right? Kalau betul FFM nak jadi liberal open, kita buka lah best film Chinese, best film Tamil. Then whatever the technical category should be an open category. You fight lah. Kan? Because the qualifying for international, for Oscar, it must be, of course masa zaman Kamil there was a challenge. Siapa kata? I read the rule book. The rule book says it must be of the country's language.
Yeah. So no, that's why if that's the case, and that's what FFM wants to be. Let's say, okay, our aim is for the winner to represent Malaysia kat the Oscars and the foreign film category. And the foreign film category must be in the bahasa kebangsaan, bahasa Malaysia. Then okay, very clear. Then you have one category, best film yang akan represent Malaysia ke Oscars, kerana, and then this is the criteria, must be in bahasa Malaysia, kebudayaan dan. Then you have another category, maybe best film dalam bahasa lain, or just an open category for best film.
Open.
Best film open.
But-
That means bahasa Iban ke whatever also
kisah
can be.
lah.
Tak kisahlah.
Cakap best film open. Yang ini memang dibuat prestige.
Yes.
Kerana dia akan mewakili negara.
Yeah.
Sekarang masalahnya semua takut.
actually dulu ada satu insiden also. I mean, this is not about film, but pelakon lelaki bukan Melayu terbaik. You know, I think there was a time
all that issue.
all that issue that was going on. So again we have to look at the direction lah.
Yeah.
Tuju kita lah.
Okay, kalau
But, I
sorry,
Yeah.
but my opinion is the technical category, baik pelakon, baik editing, baik sinematografi ke apa, it should be open. Itu technical.
Betul.
But the one that carry our image internationally, like Haji said and you agree, that FFM best film that automatically represent Malaysia to Oscar should be berbahasa Malaysia predominantly dan berkebudayaan. Tak naklah gangster filem yang reflect macam cerita orang putih, tiba-tiba kita nak hantar, orang akan gelak, because that is not our culture. It may be a box office.
But it may be a very good film.
Yes, it depends.
So again,
it depends.
It's very iffy.
It's a very thin line
It's very
lah,
thin
yeah.
line.
Yes.
You're going to do, and then again, Oscars is not okay, there's Oscars. Then let's say there's Cannes. There's,
Yeah.
So Cannes doesn't have that category. You can submit apa-apa dalam bahasa apa
Yes,
pun.
but we
they don't
have
care.
never submitted Cannes.
Correct.
Cannes is always individual.
Tapi Finas are now supporting
Supporting
films that go
festivals.
to festivals.
Yeah.
And kita ada prestige
Tak,
whatever.
sekarang dia orang nak pergi ke Cannes kan. Di Cannes tu kita boleh jual filem. Oscar ni satu tempat yang apa prestige, belagak aja. Sebenarnya saya dah pergi hantar filem saya ke Oscar.
Yeah.
Dan kita terpilih antara 32 filem yang dicalonkan untuk itu. Of course kita tak menang. Tapi kita sama level dengan Frozen. Itu yang kita bangga. Orang Frozen pun tak menang kan?
So actually category, that's what I was thinking also. Kod Upin pernah what do you call this?
Animation
masuk
category.
Animation category.
Category.
Jadi actually sebenarnya any film can masuk juga.
Memang.
Dia begini.
You can send
You can send.
Dia kalau Finas yang hantar
foreign category.
foreign kategori, dia tidak perlu ditayangkan di LA.
LA atau New York 7 days.
7
7
days,
days.
3 show a day.
A day.
Right.
Itu cost me 21,000 USD.
Yep.
Oscar ni sebenarnya lebih kepada lobbying.
It's just commercial, yeah. It's
Yeah,
very,
yeah. It's
Lobbying.
iklan.
Cuma orang belagak aja dah dapat masuk. Itu filem apa tu yang Korean menang tu,
Parasite.
Parasite tu, I think CJ taruh dekat 2-3 juta
Of
US.
course.
Yeah.
3
Untuk
publicist.
lobby.
Betul.
Pasal bila kita pergi submit, saya hantar staff saya 2 orang pergi LA submit by hand. Kita kena bawa 60 biji CD untuk bagi pada juri.
Yeah.
So untuk dia orang pilih you, kena lobby.
Oh, betul.
Jadi kalau Finas ingat filem kita boleh menang kat situ,
Tak boleh.
berangan je. Saya cakap kalau kita nak betul-betul nak pergi attack sana, nombor satu kita kena plan orang kita kat sana. Dia boleh minum, dia boleh party, dia boleh
Exactly.
dia kenal mana juri. Masa kita hantar tu, saya ada kawan kat sana, kita buat gala. Masa gala tu kita bawa 6 ke 7 juri join tengok. Kalau tidak dia takkan buka dia punya CD.
Ya, betul.
Jadi bila dia dah tengok, dia beritahu kawan-kawan je, itu pasal dia boleh tarik kita masuk. Jadi kalau Finas nak, kena tahu 2-3 orang yang boleh minum, boleh party kat sana tu, kenal mana juri-juri.
Dia tahu macam mana
Dia-
PR lah.
Okay. Basically, I support Haji Burhan because I know AWFF well, the festival director. Just to do a Malaysian gala night, like 150,000 US. That means you do what CJ does. You block.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Barulah ada presence. Dia tak semestinya filem yang compete tau. Just any film. CJ in 2016 blocked the whole week one cinema in AWFF just to screen all Korean films.
Yeah.
Then party dekat Culver City Hotel tu, malam aja party, minum and all that. That's how you do.
Yeah.
Right? A publicist will set you back 20,000 US. Fee. You nak buat special screening dekat London Hotel for 50 juries. Foreign category ada 385 juri. Okay? Ada 85 film a year, average, depending. To get 50 to come one morning, Mark dah tengok, suka, jumpa you, cocktail sikit, that will set you back 12,000 US.
Okay, Haris.
One screening.
I understand the money involved because really memang you need a lot of money. So but then I want to find out, macam last year there's a film from Bhutan yang dapat nomination for best film. It was called The Yak in My Classroom.
Yes.
Macam mana Bhutan
You
dapat-
track back,
so how
dia festival awal dia are big festivals.
Correct. Yes. So again, that is not the only way. Yes, of course we can wine and dine jury kalau kita ada duit macam CJ all that. Tapi there's also the case of merit. So kalau kita ada film yang bagus and we go to different smaller festival and you dapat attention and the film is good, people will still start looking
We're
at attention.
still taught because like it or not,
Because but and it needs to be a good film.
yes, a good film, a good publicist.
True.
True.
You need the money for publicists. That is already 25,000 US to 20,000 US, depend. Parasite got 3 publicists, right? One is Rick Makovich who did our webinar. Okay, the kind of money CJ spend, no, dah tak kira. Tapi dia menang Cannes. Dia dah lobby dari Cannes. So bila the Cannes dah menang, baru ada traction. Orang dekat LA nak tengok. Kalau kita tak ada apa, tiba-tiba kita pergi, there's no boost. Government,
no way.
Government cannot, sorry G, but government cannot understand, kau dah ambil duit marketing kan untuk filem kau.
So
Kau nak pergi Oscar, I keep telling them, Oscar itu pilihan Finas. It should be Finas punya responsibility. It's not on the production house. Aku tak suruh kau hantar, tapi kau nak hantar, so kau bayarlah. You cannot say I took for my marketing. You understand what I'm doing?
Tuan Haji did cover this in one of your interviews.
Yes.
Bila pergi Oscar tu.
Yeah.
You know the
Because
cost yang
bila I balik aja, YB Gobin panggil how's your experience? Kita cerita. Kita spend 7, itu requirement kan, untuk tayang di sana. So it cost me 21,000 US. And then you had to do gala. So I did one gala.
Yes. AWFF. One night.
20,000. Itu pun pasal member bagi tu. Kalau tidak more than that, 20,000 USD. Masa itulah jumpa orang semua. That's why our film selected. Tapi bila you sampai sana, you buka semua paper ke internet, dia orang dah cakap dah which film boleh menang. Ini kerja orang yang menulis tu dekat internet ni. Sekarang to be realistic, kita bajet kecil. Kita tak boleh lawan Hollywoodnya filem in term of technical. Betul tak? Dia orang pakai 10 kamera, kita pakai 2. Tiap scene kita kena buat 2 kali. Nak alih angle kan. Memang tak boleh. Jadi mana yang kita nak lawan dia orang? I think the story, we have to make a story which is different from them. Kita budaya kita,
cerita kita lah.
Itu pasal kata Fina kena cerdik pilih filem. Bila nak hantar sana, should be something different. Tapi kita tak boleh lah nak buat apa LBGA punya cerita. Tak boleh. Jadi kita jangan ketengahkan tu. Banyak lagi isu-isu yang kita boleh ketengahkan antara di Malaysia ni yang dia orang tak tahu macam mana anak orang asli hidup. Dia nak tengok sesuatu yang berbeza. Kita bila dia orang buat Top Gun, kita nak buat Top Gun.
Actually, for me, from my experience dekat Oscar, when Redha was screened and we managed to do one screening, 50 juri, foreign category. Open category kita masuk, but it's just for traction. We know we can never win. The foreign category, 50 yang datang tu, the first thing they ingat director mesti lelaki. Automatically datang for me. When you show that no, is a lady with hijab, that's allowed in Malaysia. My proof is Counsel General masa dekat LA tu ada kat situ. And then dia tanya lagi, in Malaysia women are allowed to drive? Say yes. They don't have to wear hijab? Yes, we are very liberal and all that. Then I tanya balik, why do you ask this? You don't know? No, we are always exposed to Middle Eastern. Kita punya culture pun orang tak tahu, food kita pun orang tak tahu. That's why we said we have to sell the Malaysian brand. What is the Malaysian brand? Right? The language, the budaya. If not, they will get confused.
I think sebab there's one big reason also for that. Sebab bila kita fikir pasal filem, you want to think of box office. Straight automatic. Most of them, box office. Sebab kalau buat filem tak laku, tak ada duit masuk poket. Betul tak? Sebab producer semua sudah kena push towards that direction. Diorang pun cakap, lah, kita buat cerita hantu lah. Cerita hantu boleh collect 40 juta. Saya buat cerita real, tak collect berapa. 100,000, 200,000 je boleh collect. Itu pun kalau you're lucky lah. So, bila lagi lebih banyak filem-filem komersial macam ni yang keluar, how are we gonna bring out Malaysian story?
Tak ada masalah buat cerita hantu, tapi janganlah buat cerita hantu tiru Thailand punya cerita hantu.
Betul.
Kita boleh buat cerita hantu kita.
Betul.
Kita hantu kita banyak. Hantu Cina lompat-lompat kan, hantu India lain lagi, hantu Melayu lain lagi. So kita boleh buat, tapi jangan tiru yang Thailand punya, Indonesia punya. Tapi kalau kita buat cerita hantu tu, dia mesti ada cerita. Cerita yang ni kita masuk ke elemen-elemen kita. Cuba kita tengok drama kita. Bila dia bercinta, bawa pergi makan dekat hotel, apa yang dia order makan?
Western.
Steak.
Western.
Kenapa
Image.
dia tak order makanan lokal?
Steak and syrup.
Dan masa dia bawa tu, dia bercerita. Kalau kata dia bawa apa tu, laksa Johor. Ini laksa ni kalau Johor dia pakai spaghetti. Elemen macam itu kita tak ada. Cuba you tengok Korea. Dia keluar, semua ada. Dia bercerita. Ini yang kita sebagai penerbit, pengarah semua, tak ada peka kepada benda-benda yang kita ada. Kenapa nak order steak?
Mega Holdings
Lepas tu nak bawa kita apa? Ferrari. Takkan Proton kita ada? Tak standard. Ini sebagai pengusaha filem yang membawa imej dan memberitahu anak-anak muda ni kita kena peka dengan benda macam tu. Kita tak semestinya nak macam orang putih semua. Kadang very simple story can make world. You can sell to the world. Tapi kita tak pernah nak megah dengan barang kita. Ini yang saya ingin terapkan kepada penerbit-penerbit, pengusaha-pengusaha bidang kreatif ni. Saya dah buktikan kita bawa cerita kampung. Tapi bukan kampung, it's a global. Semua orang boleh terima. Dia masuk India tahun 2019. Disney cakap dia nombor 3. Nombor 9. 2020 terus naik nombor 3. Last year kita minta, dia tak nak bagi, takut harga naik. Tapi last week dia datang, semua produk kita dia nak. Dia kata Upin doing very well in India. You know, it's already open to 1 billion population
market.
So saya tak heran kalau besok saya buat theme park penuh dengan orang dari India datang.
Betul.
Bukan orang Indonesia.
It's a brand.
It's a brand.
Yep.
That's the thing. We do not have a brand because coming back to the topic, Wajah Filem Malaysia kita tu apa?
I think
This was
used to
discussed
have this,
internationally, you know.
Yeah.
And when we met Tan Sri Anwar Musa, we did say, dia kata, why can't Malaysian films have? We are very fragmented. We are. And the film reflect the fragmented.
Yeah.
Right? Therefore, Finas has got to, like you said, consensusly know apa itu wajah filem kita. Right? Because at the moment, kalau you tanya yang muda-muda on the, we had, I think you were there that night, yang 300 lebih orang dalam clubhouse sampai pukul 5 pagi. Tanya, bila kita tanya, what is Malaysian film? Oh, buat dekat Malaysia lah. You know, and those are young and upcoming directors yang bluntly. So bila kita explain positioning kita ni macam mana internationally, right?
Yeah.
Culturally, language, macam mana do we position as a Malaysian film, right? Don't care lah, like other countries pun they mungkin ada Tagalog language besides whatever, right? But the point is, when we want to go out, especially kalau Finas hantar, what are the kind of film that we want to help promote?
I mean, I think dari segi Finas, right? I mean, it's difficult because it's the kerajaan. They have to do whatever the kerajaan. But I think for Finas, diorang mesti tahu what is their hala tuju. I think first is Finas hala tuju. Kalau they say they nak memperkasakan film bahasa Malaysia, film dan kebudayaan, then that has to be that has to be priority lah. Tapi then it has to be different from commercial. Because why Upin Ipin does well? Because it's a very good commercial. It started off as a very good commercial cartoon dulu. Yeah, it's good. Because semua orang boleh terima. Tengok pun fun.
Pada saya
bagus.
Ini sebagai alasan dia yang cakap komersial. Sebenarnya filem kalau kita buat dengan cantik,
boleh commercial,
dah tentu jadi komersial.
Betul. I agree with dengan Haji.
Ini kata ini. Walaupun dalam tu banyak Cina, banyak India, boleh.
Betul.
Boleh pergi. Sekarang masalahnya di Finas tu sendiri tak tahu apa dia nak.
I think zaman Piramli dulu, a lot of films we won. I think Asian Film Festival. And
That is way back then.
way back
Even
then.
if we take Mechanic, Hafsyam punya Mechanic,
Yeah.
is so Malaysian that all races went at that time.
Correct.
Correct. Right? Padahal dia very commercial. Right? But you can relate. The lines is like putih ke, hitam, coklat ke, Susan famous line. Kita orang Malaysia kan. It doesn't matter. But it boils down back to we are Malaysian. we now have to spell that we are Malaysian. No more fragmented as, oh, I'm a Malaysian Chinese or I'm a Malaysian Tamil. You know,
That should go
it should go. That should go first, right? So, but I have asked Tan Sri, political will kita ada ke? Because it takes a political will to stand by whatever decision Finas make or whatever suara government lah. Because there will be even the Malay yang konon urbanized will say, mana boleh, it should be open. Yes, can. But like Haji said, you said, the one that is going to represent an Oscar, criteria dia macam ni. Therefore, it must be budaya and all that. We have an open category where all boleh lawan.
Semua boleh lawan.
Yeah, but then again to me is a simple case of communikasi lah.
Yeah.
Communication lah. I mean, it is something that we discuss in finance all the time.
Lina, the problem
how much
is
communication is there?
the problem is very little communication. Ada orang tanya pun nak jawab tu susah, takut.
Takut nak jawab. Takut dia besok dia tak dapat jadi position. Saya pun pernah jadi board member pernah. I was a board member before.
Yeah,
How was your experience?
I tell them, if you don't want to do this, I don't want. I'm very straightforward kita cakap. Because kita tak mengharapkan kita nak duduk kat position tu.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is for the country, for the industry, you should do satu yang macam kita cakap tadi dah, untuk mewakili negara, dan ini patut dinaikkan martabat dia. Jangan dia jadi second class. Yang open kategori boleh buat. Open ni lah. Siapa nak masuk lah. Kalau filem India menang, okay, it's a good film. Tapi
But to represent the country, it has to have a certain.
mesti ada satu kriteria. Yang ini yang Finas kena berani cakap.
Bagi saya, I mean Finas, okay, and then I go back to how we meningkatkan. I always say that, you know, one of the things that masa tu you talk about, we need to cross-promote. We need to start kat our awareness of films kan. Again, it's budget lah. Kalau kita Oscar, you need 20 million just to get the attention of jury. Kalau kat sini juga, to get the attention of the masses, you need money for marketing. Kalau kita buat films 2 juta, marketing kena mesti at least 1 million, 1.5 million, you know. Tapi the problem is that, then where's the marketing money? Because kalau ada film yang bagus, ada juga film yang bagus-bagus. Tapi like, doesn't matter what language, as long as bagus, they need a fair chance untuk orang tahu, tengok the film. And that's why to me, Finas is important. When we look at it from a marketing, kita kena cross-promote. Kalau film ni bagus, okay, promote film. Tak kisah, promote to the Chinese. Maybe film Malaysia yang bagus, film Malay language yang bagus. Kita promote. Then maybe Finas can give marketing money to promote to the Indian and Chinese community.
Finas memang ada. Memang ada dana promotion.
Ada dana promotion.
Lepas tu ada dana untuk buat filem.
Ya.
Tapi yang membagi dana tu, siapa yang membagi dana tu? Itu kita kena question. Apa tujuan dia bagi? Filem apa yang patut dia bagi?
Kenapa
harus dibagi?
Dia kena ada guide. I mean from the beginning to end. Okay,
correct.
You do a film. Okay, lepas you habiskan film tu, you come to me. Let's start planning. Itu tak ada. So filmmakers, we are blur as well. What do we do next?
That's
the problem again is communication. So what's the criteria, right? It's the same problem.
Okay, to be fair, before our term ends, I got a bit of chance to be involved in the DKD new restructuring. The point of reference is untuk mengangkat filem yang berkualiti dan a reflection of Malaysian. That is the key untuk bila panel. Then we set up a rubrics point. That means kalau antara kita tiga, when we score the pitch, we will pretty much be the same. Kalau filem tu bagus, score kita sama lah. It should not be tiba-tiba Prakash punya tinggi. Then I will ask you, how come you tinggi?
Kawannya.
Exactly. So to nak avoidkan tu, kita pakai rubrics. So that one Prof yang suggest, and we did a simulation, it works.
It works.
3 simulations that we done with different project, the simulation works. That means no preference. And dia pula panel dia on rotation. That means you will not know siapa datang. That's all good. Right? The criteria is filem Malaysia yang berbudaya Malaysia, because the argument was dana kerajaan should support films like this. Dia mungkin tak laku box office, Haji.
Betul.
But kalau tak pakai dana kerajaan untuk buat,
Dia tak boleh buat.
dia takkan boleh buat.
Ya, betul.
So we should concentrate on that. Kalau commercial, dia akan dapat investors untuk masuk. Tapi kalau dia commercial, berbau commercial, tapi dia on the premise of kebudayaan and the culture, you support lah. That was the brief.
Yeah.
Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But the rubrics is following.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
And we also segmented 70% is on the content. The 30% is based on your presence, how you speak masa pitch, your pitch deck semua. So everything is evaluated. From the time you walk into the room, your mannerism, your tutur kata and all that will be evaluated 30%. 70% tu your content. So all that has been done now.
Put in experience. Experience.
Yeah. So and the fact that with the SPPIK punya system, kalau you dah pernah dapat dana, you tak ada cooling period, automatically the system reject lah.
Yeah.
So all that has been done. That means yang mana lepas scoring tinggi dalam sistem yang dikendalikan oleh automated system, itu yang dipanggil pitching. So all those has been done by Finas. Itu we have to give credit. Right? So we see lah hasil dia.
So,
Kan?
itu yang kita nak dengar kan. Kalau tidak, kita tengok filem tak apa-apa dapat dana, lepas tu tak keluar filem.
Tak keluar.
Itu yang kita
Itu
marah.
lagi satu kes yang
Dan satu
filem
lagi,
tak keluar.
Haji, macam Haji cakap, kita ada dana marketing, tapi selalunya pihak-pihak atasan dekat KKM tak faham. Kalau international marketing, dia bagi 100,000 Haji, convert USD berapa sen sangat. Right? So kita kata it should be given higher because it's conversion of international. Right? But janganlah cakap double dipping. Kalau Prakash dah ambil untuk local marketing, tiba-tiba Prakash punya filem nak pergi ke LA, you minta, oh tak boleh dapat pasal double dipping. Tak boleh lah. It's not double dipping. International marketing
It's a different,
It's a
sama
different
juga.
dana.
Sama juga Oscar. Finas yang pilih, Finas yang hantar, Finas responsible to back up the money. Janganlah cakap, oh dia dah ambil local marketing lah, asal dia nak ambil ni. So these are the kind of explanation which is the higher officers in KKMM should understand. Pasal dia orang tak faham the industry. Therefore, bila kita cakap pasal wajah Malaysia ke apa ke, oh ya ke? Kalau buat kat Malaysia tu kira Malaysia lah. Those are the kind of things that you get.
Tapi dalam sejarahnya memang Finas ni pilih je. Hantar kat Oscar, lepas tu tak ada apa. So ramailah yang producer dah terpilih tu, dia kata, ingat nak pergi LA ke? Tak ada siapa yang bagi.
Betul.
Itu kenyataannya. Yang kita orang memang kita nak push. Sebabnya saya masukkan filem Upi Ipin Kes Yang Mantunggal tu ke Oscar. Disebabkan kita menang di Montreal. With special mention on script. We won the best film. So kita tengok list orang yang masuk tu, semua filem tu kita dah kalahkan. So my wife kata, kenapa kita tak masuk Oscar? Filem-filem ni semua kita dah kalahkan. So itu yang kita hantar tu, itu yang kita boleh menang. Berikut dalam borang tu dia ada sebut dah pernah menang nak ke mana. So itu satu kebanggaan kita lah. Tapi saya bersyukurlah pasal balik tu YB Gobin panggil, saya cakap saya dah spend 300,000.
Minimum lah.
300,000.
Ya.
Lepas tu takkan kerajaan tak ada bagi apa kan. So dia diam aja, tapi besok saya dapat call dari MDEC suruh hantar invoice 150,000. So kita syukur dapat setengah kan. At least government bagi. Jadi benda-benda macam ni kalau kita minta pindah takkan dapatnya kan. Tapi inilah usaha yang kita buat sendiri. Banyak benda saya buat sendiri. Kita berani aja kerana bila kita buat tu, in term of marketing, kita akan jadi besar.
Betul.
Banyak orang tak berani melabur yang belah itu.
Dan lagi satu Malaysia ni, macam kita cakap lah, kita tak ada consistency. Kan? Daripada zaman awal-awal dulu, baru 6 filem ke sampai ke Oscar. There's no every year hantar. Kita tak pernah.
Dia hantar. Dia hantar.
Tak, Haji. Dia hantar first kali yang hantar sendiri Tiara punya.
Itu hantar sendiri. Tapi Finas setiap tahun dia
akan hantar
hantar.
satu.
Tak ada. Tak ada Haji. I can tell you now.
Biasanya
Foreign category
sometimes
tak ada.
they have
Dia
individual,
hantar, okay.
yeah.
After that bunuhan hantar. After that lelaki harapan hantar. After that redha. Then M for Malaysia. Then
The M for Malaysia is
Sama dengan saya.
M for Malaysia dengan Haji.
then
And
Urusan
then
mana?
Private Sapu.
Private Sapu.
Before that ada satu kot.
No, because we didn't send because COVID kot masa tu.
No, we did.
After Private Sabu, I think Private Sabu was the
After
last.
M for
Private,
Malaysia,
Private Sapu was last.
Last.
But before that, was it?
No, and I don't think
Tak ada.
so.
Tak ada.
I don't
No.
think so.
It was M for Malaysia. It was same year as mine lah.
M for Malaysia same as yours.
Yeah.
Yes. So dia ada daripada time lelaki harapan ke redha tak ada. Redha ke M for Malaysia pun in between tak ada. Dia tak ada consistent.
Ya, kena tengok siapa pengarah. Apa tu? KP.
Ya, betul.
Kena tengok siapa KP.
So kita minta bagus tak bagus, you should send at least a good one, so that because persoalan yang ditanya pada kita orang was how many has Malaysian sent? Oh, ours is number 4. That's why we don't know you. There's no brand name of Malaysia.
Yeah.
Tengok Iran. Every year, regardless.
They will send.
Hantar.
Dan itu bukan kena duit pun.
Hantar. Itu dia. Effort aja.
Online je.
Effort aja.
Tapi itu kena, it must be a finance.
Yeah.
Yes.
That must be initiative daripada Finas.
Bukan
Tak
kita
boleh.
tengok KP Finas je, pegawai yang jaga.
Betul. Actually KP Finas sebagai board juga, dia 2 tahun. Actually even KP Finas 2 tahun aja. Kalau kita tengok nak effect change pun kena 4 tahun actually no.
Okay, ni terus terang cakap nak hantar Private Sapu, nak isi borang
Pun tak pandai.
board pun kena check. You belum hantar ni, material kena ready ni. Takkanlah kita nak kena buat kerja.
Itu lah masalahnya. Kadang pegawai dia pun tak reti nak isi borang. Cakap orang putih pun tak reti.
Sekarang dalam PFM, like myself, Nandita, a few others, right? We are helping the producers to coming up with guidelines lah untuk macam mana nak hantar untuk festival and so on. Tapi itu pun we have to work together with Finas at the end of the day. Yeah.
Because at the moment, after talking to Nandita and with Finas and all that, we've got about 110 festivals overall that is recognised. That means NEPAK and all that lah, kira boleh lah recognize. But there are splinters which is Film Freeway, which kadang-kadang Finas pergi acknowledge juga, which is wrong. We shouldn't. Then producer will never learn yang bangsa hantar bayar, tahu-tahu bulanan menang.
Lepas tu bila PM congratulate dia bagi.
Ya.
Masa itu saya sound.
Betul.
Sound chairman. Macam mana you biarkan PM pergi congratulate filem festival yang tepi longkang
Bulanan. Right? So I like, apa korang buat ni? You know? Nobody advise, right? So benda-benda macam tu kena jaga, because at the end macam Haji cakap lah, while our flagship festival needs to be tightened, we also need to know other positioning festival. Okay lah, let's take Midfest for instance. Macam dia selalu minta duit. So my cakap kalau Finas nak letak duit, which is a lot of money, then I want to revamp everything. Because I cannot take your Malaysian international name, but you need to revamp. The image that goes out is ini festival, because it's very Chinese oriented. And I told this to Joanne. Terus terang saya cakap, tak boleh lah, kan? You must have macam bahasa lain pun ada interpreter. Ini kalau tak ada interpreter and everything is Chinese run, then the image that we are representing is wrong.
It's wrong.
So saya rasa kan Finas kena ambil tindakan yang kata Malaysia International Film Festival. Finas kena ambil tindakan, dia tak boleh nak pakai nama Malaysia kat depan tu. Dia boleh tukar nama apa pun, tapi jangan pakai Malaysia Film. Kerana dia mengelirukan semua orang. Dan seolah-olah dia yang besar. Tetapi dalamnya semua cerita Cina. So bila dia submit ke luar negara, dia kata ini menang Malaysia International Film Festival, ini filem Malaysia, tapi semua cakap Cina. Orang semua tanya saya, ini filem Hong Kong ke Malaysia? So ini image yang Finas kena jaga.
What is our brand? Itulah tu yang penting.
Saya tak ada masalah filem India ke filem Cina, tetapi bila dia buat festival yang nama dia Malaysia International Film Festival, di mana Finas? Lepas tu minta duit dengan Finas lagi.
But I think if kalau Finas give, then Finas can put lah kriteria dia.
Criteria.
Tak boleh. Finas
kriteria
kena
mesti
beritahu,
dia.
tukar nama. Bukan soal Finas bagi duit dia nak tukar nama. Sekarang Finas kena gerakkan dia punya act. Tukar. Kalau tidak tak boleh ada program ni. Dia tak boleh dibiarkan. Kalau dibiarkan, di mana stand Finas? Itu yang saya nak cakap.
Because we had this talk with Haji. FFM is not international. It's still local. Betul? Festival Film Malaysia. But you got another festival is actually competing and overshadowing the current festival.
Right. But I think, you also cannot, to be fair, both sides, kalau FFM is not menyerlah, then I also have to ask, kenapa FFM tak menyerlah? Kenapa yang MIFest yang dianjurkan secara persendirian, fine, because they anjurkan persendirian, diorang ada sponsor, duit sendiri, bukan duit kerajaan.
Very commercialized.
It's commercialized, whatever. Tapi for me, then my main question is, kita kena tanya kenapa FFM tak menyerlah.
Tak boleh naik gitu.
Correct.
Is FFM done only for the sake of
bertahun-tahun.
doing it?
Correct. For me, then it's more important we work with FFM, not to ban the other one, tapi kita kena tanya
Outshine.
FFM. How can you now come up and be better, raise up the standard?
Macam mana nak raise up the standard? Bila kita tanya FFM, siapa yang organize? Nobody can answer. Kita tak tahu macam mana dia buat. And very very secret. Siapa yang nak meluluskan, apa dia punya tema dalam tu semua. They never tell. Because there's a lot of money, government money pakai. Ada orang yang vested interest.
Betul.
Ini jadi masalah kita ni bila sesuatu yang dibuat oleh kerajaan, pegawai-pegawai dia tak amanah.
I think dari dulu Finas has always been that problem. Kita tak trust, tak tahu mana pergi, don't know what the money that, dia orang belanja macam ni. Ada juga Finas pernah masa tu long time ago buat duit dah bagi tapi festival tak ada.
Tak ada.
Wah, dah 500 juta dah bagi ni dah banyak tu.
Yang jadi lagi satu masalah, semua filem tu dia punya producer dia join penerbit Persatuan Penerbit Filem. Tetapi bila dia buat festival filem, kita ketepikan. Ini jadi satu masalah pada kita. Seharusnya Persatuan Penerbit Filem ni dipanggil dan sama-sama duduk. Ini dia anggap kita nak makan duit, dia tak nak. So ini tak betul lah, pasal semua penerbit filem ni ahli kita.
I actually suggested, I think Lina tahu, we can call Persatuan Penerbit masuk. We can call the jury, but the head jury should be somebody dari luar. Because dia tak bias tentang kau producer aku kenal ke apa ke. So dia tengok dari segi technical dan semua, dan dia govern the other juries. At the moment, kita last FFM sampai sudah tak tahu siapa juri. Sampai sudah tak tahu.
Tahu-tahu ada menang.
I think the same thing 2-3 years ago bila for Oscars as well. We don't know who's the jury.
I do agree. I mean, there's a lot of issues kan. I mean, it's legacy issues. I panggil dia legacy issues. Dari dulu. I mean, we only have to hope. I mean, kita baru habis kita punya tenure kat 2 tahun. Tapi, I mean, we try very hard. And then Tuan Ji was on the board dulu. You know how it is. It's not so easy because kita board. But end of the day, it's the people kan. But I think, like, we have only to be vocal macam ni. And I see things getting better. And now because I'm the board, sometimes you just cakap dengan officer pun kadang-kadang dia orang rasa macam frustrated juga. Because, they are just, they are subject to, tukar policy, tukar KP, tukar policy lagi. Dia dah, and things don't get done so fast kan, government. Like 3 bulan untuk buat satu kelulusan 6 bulan. Lepas 2 tahun, dah siap, dah tukar policy.
Haji, terus terang saya cakap, the trip yang recent Cannes was actually pushed to do it because we know the minister could attend. Okay, the only reason why we push to do it is so that dia rasa pergi Cannes, dia tengok. Jadi at the moment semasa dia masih menteri, senang nak bercakap pasal kau dah tengok kan. Kau tengok macam mana nak belanja
You can
kan.
feel and
You can feel. If not, masa go bin, Haris, let's go Midcom. You pay for me, I go lah. Midcom is not a film market, it's a TV market.
TV market.
TV market can sell. I do film, I cannot. There's no market there. Right? And then he went, he came back, he said agree. Then he talked about Oscar. Say simple, Oscar is all about money. First, development of a good film.
Yeah.
Second is about the money that you pump in to support that film. Kalau tak, kita tak ke mana. Right? You got Upin Ipin, but MDEC will not support unless minister support. Pasal MDEC selalu cakap tak ada duit. Finance cannot support, dia kata oh, bukan tanggungjawab dia because it's animation.
Film animasi
So, macam tu lah. So, macam mana?
So you grow on your own.
Macam Haji boleh lah grow macam tu. Macam kita orang tak boleh Haji.
But that's why I think the rules cannot be subject to political change. Kalau kita ada hala tuju, again, then this is again a case of kalau kita ada hala tuju, we run. Kalau Finas boleh run macam CEO, like Tan Haji make a decision. You are my company. I dah 20 tahun run my company. I know. Then you know where to hala tuju.
What I don't understand, Finas is not a commercial entity. So dia hak kerajaan. Dan tentulah ada carta dia, apa yang dia nak sampai kat objektif. Bukan suka hati KP baru, tukar. Minister baru, tukar. Tak boleh.
Betul.
Dia mesti dah ada carta dia. Apa yang dia, tugas dia dan apa tanggungjawab dia. Dan apa dia nak tengok industri ni naik macam mana. Katalah kita nak melahirkan filem yang betul-betul bertaraf international. Boleh dibuat.
Boleh.
Boleh,
Anything is achievable.
Boleh. Everything. Tapi bila tukar
Confident.
dia punya KP, dia buat cara dia. Bila tukar menteri suka macam ini, kena ikut. Ini bukan hak dia orang.
Betul.
Ini hak negara. Mesti sesuatu yang kita dah tetapkan. Siapa bertukar dia kena ikut itu. Tapi cara dia melaksanakan itu kita bagi.
Kita boleh improvise lah. Tapi
Dia boleh bagi. Tapi apa yang objektif yang kita katakan, filem mesti cakap filem Malaysia, wajah Malaysia, mesti 70% bahasa Malaysia dan mencerminkan identiti negara kita. Itu kena taruh kat atas tu. Siapa bertukar, besok tukar Tancong ke jadi menteri, dia tak boleh tukar jadi filem Cina, jadi filem Melayu, filem Malaysia.
To be honest Oscar dah hantar surat to set up the new committee. That means Oscar is in October
this year.
Yeah. By right FFM should be done September.
Earlier,
Ini dah Jun. Belum dengar apa-apa tau. So how do you think that Mad Rush nak buat kategori-kategori yang macam kita discuss ni sekarang? Tak ada sitting, apa kategori, apa pembaharuan, apa nak buat. You cannot do all this last minute. Because why? This time, kalau betul lah filem yang dipilih untuk wakil untuk Oscar, you have to work backwards already.
True.
Because Oscar jangan jadi macam selalu. Last minute baru hantar. Like nak closing baru kita hantar.
Ya, super macam M for Malaysia. Saya call Hans masa tu chairman. Apa filem yang dihantar tahun ni oleh Finas? Saya call tu hari Selasa. Tarikh tutup Selasa depan. Hans kata dia baru sini, dia tak tahu. Dia kata kita belum set up the committee lagi.
Haji, can I be fair? Cakap terus terang lah. Ni kita cakap open. Sebenarnya M for Malaysia by right doesn't qualify.
Ada tangan dari atas. Itu saya tahu.
Dia tak qualify because dia tak boleh run dekat cinema sini over 7 days. So Hans and at that time on extended that it meets the criteria.
But I got a call on Friday. Jumaat tu saya dapat call yang filem suatu ketika telah dipilih. Tunggu dulu untuk announcement.
Because technically it was non-qualified.
Dia ada tangan dari atas.
The hidden hands yang suruh.
So kita tak boleh ada campur tangan macam tu lah.
Exactly.
Sebab dia boleh rosakkan creativity and the whole productivity of the country.
Kita tahu. Pasal bila saya tanya tu, you tunggu hari Khamis. Khamis. Nanti dia beritahu filem apa terpilih. So hari Jumaat saya call Hans balik. Filem apa? Dia tak nak cakap. Nanti orang final call. So hari Sabtu saya suruh budak saya pergi terbang ke LA, bawa.
You cannot wait.
I cannot wait. So kalau saya tak hantar my staff pergi LA, kita miss the deadline. Tapi lepas tu saya tahulah ada yang cakap ada tangan dari luar. Campur tangan suruh filem M for Malaysia.
You know the reason that was given to the panels was, kalau hantar suatu ketika dia orang tak ada duit untuk support because Finas don't have money. But kalau M for Malaysia dia ada duit. But the truth of the matter is M for Malaysia pun nak minta duit from Finas juga. Right? So at the end of the day, while you promise, you can't deliver because there was no money allocated to give to even for M for Malaysia pun suatu ketika. So where is the fairness? Kan?
Tapi M for Malaysia dia buat gala.
Dia buat galah.
Dia buat galah.
Itu pasal dia kenal
Tak ada, somebody is financing
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I tahu summertime kan.
Yeah. So I was in LA. Dia tahu.
End of the day, I think we need a proper committee lah. That's why the number one, transparency kena ada lah. Transparency because I think also masalah kerajaan kan. Transparency kalau tak ada, orang mesti tanya.
Okay.
And if there's no transparency, people get suspicious.
The one for the private sapu, this is how it was done. None of the panel represented persatuan. It was individual good at theirs. So
Locals.
I can mention some name lah. So you got people like Fatimah Abu Bakar, just to look into that. Musicians apa, like monologue and all that. So you set up the panel. Dan bila filem tu dihantar, semua evaluate with scoring again rubrics. Lepas dah rubrics, table and deliberate balik why filem ni versus filem ni. Open lah a debate. Why Private Sapu versus Barbarian Invasion plus yang mana yang submit lah. Debate consensusly we vote because it was not unanimous. You vote. So 7 to 10 kalau tak salah. So 7 pilih Private Sapu because they feel that a film yes, quality not so good, but at least the story reflect Malaysian. Whereas Barbarian Invasion dia ada macam spoof of some other film, ada ni, Tapi at least deliberation, semua tahu, semua agree and disagree, then you vote. That I thought was a good way to do it. But that is previous lah. The next one you don't know, but the next one is more critical because dia akan compete. Macam tu kita tunggu orang submit. Mungkin 10 ke 5 je yang submit ke Oscar because some will say tak ada chance. But FFM kebanyakannya akan submit. So the jury category dekat situ is more critical. Pasal you got more film to evaluate, more film to discuss. You must be true and genuine because it's going to represent, yang menang represent. So those are even more tougher to set up. So and the jury kena bagi list panel baru dah sekarang. You have to submit for Oscar category untuk foreign. You kena submit the jury list. Who's the chairman? Who's that?
That's how it should be done lah. Betul.
But hopefully they ikut lah. They follow. A couple of things that the effect changes. Orang akan ikut because kalau is doing well and the system is fair, harap-harap dia ikut lah. Jangan
tak complain.
I tengok lah macam Indonesia and all that, right? The panel actually will come out and say, okay, we've chosen this film.
Yes.
This is our panels, And the reason why we chose this film, the whole article about it, why we have chosen this film.
Very clear. So
yang best dia, macam saya masuk festival pertandingan di Japan. So we won the best kita punya character among all Asian. Juri pergi depan, dia cerita kenapa kita menang. Sini berani nak cerita. So that's why we respect the way it is.
Saya dekat Kazan, the jury panel including Oscar winner sit with the audience. Tengok reaction, tengok tu, and none of the filmmaker can go anywhere near them. Dia orang duduk makan asing, semua asing. And macam Haji juga, when you win or they give the award, they will say why they choose this.
Why they choose that.
Why is this? So those are the kind of things we need. Here semua tersembunyi.
Ya, kalau dia beritahu itu, all the other filmmaker knows.
Yeah.
What kind of film we have to make, what to improve.
Yes.
Sama lah. Whatever yang kita cerita ni, Haji pun tak tahu pasal how the rubrics work for DKD now and all. You don't know. Now that you know, you think okay lah, ada harapan lah, ada pembaruan. But it was never shared out. The problem is like Lina cakap, communication. Anyway, we've gone on pretty long, divert ke sana sini. Interesting. So last few words, moving forward, FFM and whatever you've heard, how are we going to short and brief, how do we improve, Lina?
Well, this year punya FFM, kita dah bagi banyak feedback dah. So, I harap that siapa yang nak KP baru dan the whole group kat sana, you know, I dah cakap banyak, rombak semula FFM, kita kena ada satu festival based on merit and based on prestige. I mean, it needs to be a prestigious merit bagi kita proud lah to have FFM again. Yeah. And I hope they do that lah.
Prakash.
Okay, I'll talk about Wajah Filem Malaysia lah. I think apa yang kita perlu ialah kita ada banyak cerita kat Malaysia ni, tons and tons of stories. So kalau ministry level dengan producers can come up with a good story, you know, bring out all these stories, develop from the beginning, make it a project. You know, macam anak lah, nak lahirkan anak. You know, you want your kids to grow. So it may take a few years, 5 tahun ke 6 tahun ke 10 tahun for us to reach there, but develop from the grassroots. You know, do a film. It's a community project juga, kalau nak cakap. You know, invest in it. And now that you've said we need a lot of money for publicity, marketing, baru kita boleh pergi international. That's when all eyes will be on us. You know, that's my hope lah for the country.
Haji.
Macam Lina cakap lah, kita yang pertama Finas kena perkasakan Festival Filem Malaysia tu supaya dia sesuatu yang
Flagship.
Orang motivated nak buat filem, nak menang di situ supaya dia dapat dibawa keluar. Sekarang saya rasa pengarah Penerbit semua tak ada motivation nak buat tu. Bila menang pun orang kutuk. Itu sesuatu yang kita kena naikkan. Kedua, kalau kita mesti macam Prakash cakap tu, look into macam mana kita nak buat filem yang boleh membanggakan Malaysia. Tak semestinya filem Melayu. Tapi cerita dia mesti berusulkan sesuatu yang people proud of to see. Yang ini adalah Malaysia. Tak kira lah orang Melayu ke, budak Cina ke, budak India, dia suka tengok filem tu dan they are proud. Macam Upipin. Bila sebut Upipin, semua orang proud is a Malaysian. Especially kalau pergi Indonesia, semua kata Upipin.
First, itu yang dia cakap, Upin Ipin. Where are you from? Malaysia. Upin Ipin. Dah ada branding tu.
That's the thing. Bagi saya, kita kena look at the Malaysian brand internationally. Having gone here and there, like Haji, we lack of the brand image. Therefore, Finas punya effort is to put forward brand image, and Finas should stick to what is supposed to be. It's actually a development board. Therefore, develop good product, develop good marketing. Right? So, bila at some point, these two will meet. But for now, we have to start lah. Kalau tak, dia takkan bertemu. Kan? Kita kena, government and Finas needs to look at it with a 5 years vision. At 5 years, where will we be? Kan? Tak kira lah macam Haji kata minister ke KP tukar. But that blueprint is there. It's there.
Okay.
Thank you everybody. For the benefit, I think we've enjoyed the headphones by Bayan Dynamic DT770 Pro 80 ohm over-ear studio headphone, right? It's very clear, sharp. I think, you know, its noise cancellation is very good. Right? And we also got a sanitizer here, Safelyte. Yes, I think 99.99% of virus and germs effectively killed. I think this is good for us to use, man. At this time, I just went through COVID. It's not healthy at all to be coughing away after clear COVID. So thank you very much again. I hope we can do this more often. Haji, very good initiative. So harap kita dapat maju lagi lah.
Majulah film untuk negara. Ya, mesti.
I can never say that.
Why not? I love that line. Majulah film untuk negara.
No, you have to say it now.
Yeah.
Majulah filem untuk negara. Yes.
Yeah.